So what is texture? You hear musicians talk about this all the time, the texture of a given passage of a piece of music. Let's change the texture with a change of harmony. But what is texture? Texture, in one way in music, is the same thing as texture in the material world. Does it feel rough? Is it smooth? Is the weave open and loose and permeable, or is it tight? So all of those qualities of the suppleness or the rigidity or the brittleness of a surface that you could apply to the world of textiles or furniture or clothing could also be applied to the world of music. In fact, what seems to be the most interesting thing to do to percussion instruments is to avoid their usual sounds. We all know what it sounds like simply to hit a drum or to hit a cymbal or hit a gong. But are there ways of activating them that make them sound smooth or rough or open-weaved or dense in the same way that we associate those words in the textures of the real world?
Let's take the snare drum to talk about texture. It's one of the most basic percussion instruments that you could find. It's a simple drum. On the bottom of the snare drum are these wire snares, and when they rub up against the bottom of the head, they create a kind of noise. So the most basic sound you can make on any drum, or any percussion instrument from that matter, is to raise the stick and to let it fall. A single note. But there are lots of other ways of activating the drum. You can let the stick bounce. You can play in rapid succession. You can let both stick bounce to make a roll. And you can combine them. Let me play for you right now the opening snare drum theme of Edgar Varèse's seminal percussion work, Ionization, written in 1931. Here's the theme. Pretty basic snare drum playing. But that's not all the snare drum can do. I could take a softer mallet. We'll momentarily turn the snares off and it'll sound more like a tom-tom. And that's a much softer attack than with the wooden snare drum stick. Or if that still is too loud, we can take a softer mallet yet, one that's actually designed to be played on timpani. And so you can vary the presence of a sound by varying the material of the beater that you play the instrument with. Then, well, here's something else. I could play it with a brush. Brush are a small set of wire bristles, and you can strike the drum, or you can swish the brush across the top, or you can do a kind of mixture. And so by combining all of those various ways of activating the drum to get as many different kinds of textures as possible, you can change the drum from a simple thing that makes one sound to a complex thing that makes many different kinds of sounds.